Hey, Shalom, Akim. First and foremost, call hello, Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushua, Ba'ashim, Kakwadash. Double honors go out to the apostles and elders, great millstone, who through the Holy Spirit continue to teach us His truth. All right, this is Nama of the DC camp. And I'm sure as you've heard by now, they had this situation in Israel. Well, a lot of these rats, all right, died in a stampede. All right. And hey, I'm loving it. Rats, like I say, everything they've gotten, all right, just Edomites in general. You know, the things you've acquired have been through deceit, thievery, murder, and every other vile, wicked thing you can think of, or way you can think of. All right. And they have convinced themselves that they are the people of the Lord. The most foul, base pieces of shit you'll ever run into. All right. But we know that the Holy Scriptures slice and dice. That's why when you deal with them, mainly it's going to be, well, they're going to refer to the Talmud. All right. And if you've ever read any of that, it's nothing but a collection of, from various sources, rabbis, and these people, all kinds of foul. All right. Just a collection of, thoughts and whatever have you. And like I said, if you've read any of that, you know that it is completely contrary to the scriptures. All right. Point being, when things like this happen, I absolutely love it, because these are the people who financed the slave trade. They knew exactly who we were. That's why they targeted a specific area in Africa, a certain people in Africa. All right. And of course, we being scattered, Elder did a video on Oliver Cromwell. When you get into England and Scotland and our people being shipped from there, the history in Spain. All right. When I heard this, initially it's what it reminded me of, and that's why I was smiling, because I'm thinking of the running of the bulls. All right. And let's go ahead and play this beautiful footage here, this video. I'll go ahead and let it play. It's only a minute and 12, but I'm thinking of scriptures, how, like I say, how they acquired the Holy Land, which is not theirs. That's why it's not yielding anything to them. And the way things are now, people are seeing, let's be honest, with the exception of us, and when it fits. Everybody, it's like that child that's special, all right, and the child really not knowing what's going on, but everybody around them know what's going on. And that's the condition we have been in as a people for the most part. A lot of people know who we are. I should say they knew, being past tense, who we were. I just did a video on it. I talked about, in part, on how, I didn't go in depth, but when you consider the Vietnam War and the arch enemy there being the Vietnamese leader, and how his connections with Marcus Garvey, Ho Chi Minh, and his comments on how our people were the most oppressed in the world. All right. And he went in on it. He knew this. And you would come to find out that these bankers, like they say, all wars are bankers' wars. These pieces of shit, all right, well, the elite, and these are the ones that stole this land, that were responsible, All right, they coveted the Holy Land. All right, and it's all kinds of foul crap going on there. All right. Let's go ahead and roll this clip. 44. Whatever. See, these are your, all right. Let's get Ezekiel. Get it real quick. This is Ezekiel 36. And it says, the mountains of Israel to be blessed. All right. Of course, this is after the true people of the Lord are there. All right. This is Ezekiel chapter 36, verse 1. It says, also, thou son of man, prophesy unto the mountains of Israel, and say, ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Most High Yahweh. Thus saith the Most High Yahweh, because the enemy has said against you, aha, even the ancient high places are ours in possession. Who do you think's all behind these laws and legislations and laws and things to come against our people? How this system is set up against us? Who do you think is behind that to keep us off balance as far as knowing who we are? Now, actually, even though they've with the advent of technology such as it is, and it's always, increasing, that actually has helped us. Psalms 19:4, Romans 10:18. The word has gotten out. Our people are waking up. They can't contain it anymore. It's like that little Dutch boy in a dike, poking a hole in it. You just run out of appendages. They're losing the information war. So now they're in, you could say, desperation mode, because they want to maintain what they have. All right. So now things are going to speed up even more. They tried using fear tactics and hoping that everyone would just jump and get this jab, but certain people were like, well, hold up. This doesn't hold, it doesn't hold water. There's too many holes in this. All right. Now they've got to switch gears and think of something else. All right. So we don't know what's going to happen in the next month or two here, going into when it really gets hot. People are like, this is some bullshit. So expect these Edomites to be the ones, to come down with wrath, with great wrath, as it says. All right. Continuing on, it says, verse 3, therefore prophesy and say, thus saith the Most High Yahweh, because they have made you desolate, which they have, and swallowed you up on every side, that ye might be a possession unto the residue of the heathen, and ye are taken up in the lips of talkers, and are an infamy of the people. Again, making reference to the curses. All right, and I believe it's Deuteronomy 28 and 37. Let's get that real quick. I'll come back to this. That was prophesied. Let's see. Here it is. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, a byword among all nations, whither the Most High Yahweh shall lead thee. People look at us and we are a pitiful people. We are. How did we get that way? Let's go to verse 1. Blessings at Gerizim. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. It shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Most High Yahweh thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Most High Yahweh thy power will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. Now, if you hearken, you hear. Let's look at that diligently. That's Strong's H8085, and that's Shemai. All right. If thou should hearken, that's Shemai. All right. Diligently. All right. Which we did not do. All right. Let's see. To hear, perceive by ear, to obey. All right. To consent, agree. Covenant is an agreement. It's a contract. We broke it. All right. To obey, be obedient. We did not do that. So let's go back. All right. All right. So let's see. Verse 4 says, therefore, ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Most High Yahweh. Thus saith the Most High Yahweh to the mountains and to the hills, to the rivers and to the valleys, to the desolate wastes, and to the cities that are forsaken, which became a prey and derision to the residue of the heathen which we have, that are round about. Verse 5. Therefore, thus saith the Most High Yahweh. All right. Surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen and against all Idumea. Idumea is the Greek way of saying Edom. All right. The descendants of Jacob's brother Esau. All right. Those are the people that refer to themselves as Y. All right. It says, which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds. And that certainly is despiteful, to cast it out for prey. Now let's look up the Balfour Declaration. Let's see. I want to get the actual letter. Let's see. Text of the declaration. Remember that scripture, what it says. Let's go back and read it. Here it is. Therefore, thus saith the Most High Yahweh, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen and against all Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart, mind, with despiteful minds, to cast it out for a prey. All right, now let's read this. Foreign Office, sorry about that. November 2nd, 1917. And of course, it was another 31 years before it was official. It says, Dear Lord Rothschild, I have much pleasure in conveying to you on behalf of His Majesty's government the following declaration of sympathy with Jewish Zionists, aspirations which has been submitted to and approved by the Cabinet. His Majesty's government view with favor the establishment in Palestine of a national home for the Jewish people. and will use their best endeavors to facilitate the achievement of this object, it being clearly understood that nothing shall be done which may prejudice the civil and religious rights of existing non-Jewish communities in Palestine or the rights and political status enjoyed by Jews in any other country. I should be grateful if you would bring this declaration to the knowledge of the Zionist Federation. That first part, I have much pleasure in conveying to you. I have much pleasure in conveying to you on behalf of His Majesty's government. See? Matches right up with the end of verse 5. All right. All right. It says, verse 6, it says, prophesy therefore concerning the land of Israel, and say unto the mountains, and to the hills, to the rivers, and to the valleys, thus saith the Most High Yahweh, behold, I have spoken in my jealousy and in my fury, because ye have borne the shame of the heathen. Because why? They have rule over us, all right, and they basically do whatever they want. All right, again, Psalms 10, Psalm 17. Let's go there right quick, 17. All right. These Edomites are a tool. Psalm 17. The heck? Oops, I messed that up. This is Psalms chapter 17, and indeed, this is what we needed then, and even more so now. Prayer for protection against oppressors. All right. This is a prayer of David. Hear the right, O Most High Yahweh, attend unto my cry, give ear unto my prayer that goeth not out of feigned lips. All right. And we say the same thing. All right. Let's scroll on down to verse 8. It says, keep me as the apple of the eye, hide me under the shadow of thy wings, from the wicked that oppress me, from my deadly enemies who compass me about. They are enclosed in their own fat, with their mouth they speak proudly. Now let's go on to that, because closed in their own fat. There's a couple of scriptures I'm thinking of in my head. Psalms 119 and 70. But let's see. This is Strong's H2459. Kalab, fat, fatness, best. Remember, what was the prophecy? When you go to Genesis, in fact, let's go there real quick instead of saying it. Let's go to Genesis 27th chapter. What's his blessing? All right, get down here, the stolen blessing, as it says. Well, Esau's still pissed. Let's go to 38, start there. It says, and Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And how is he going to achieve that? Verse 40. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. And that's been going on ever since. The descendants of Jacob, us, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, wherever they're scattered abroad, have been at war with the descendants of Esau, Jacob's brother. All right. So let's go back. All right. Yeah, you got the Kalab there. That's that fatness. That's how he came to be in the position that he is now. All right. And of course, they speak proudly. That goes into Psalms 73, and I believe it's verse 8. They speak wickedly of oppression. All right. So verse 11, they have now compassed us in our steps. They have set their eyes bowing down to the earth. All right. Like as a lion that is greedy of his prey, as it were a young lion lurking in secret places. All right. Verse 13, arise, O Most High Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword, because otherwise he's going to continue. Going into Habakkuk's second chapter, it says he is as death and hell, and he cannot be satisfied. All right, that's a hell of a comparison there, but that's his character. All right, so yeah, this where is it? This made my day. All right, yes sir. Damn rats. I don't know what is this. You see the what is it I got here? Where you got the running of the bulls. I don't know the. Let's see. The running of the rats. I don't know. You know, it's. Oh boy. Mm. Anyway, so yeah, that's it. Of course, I'll post uh, this link in the description box. You can enjoy it at your leisure. All right. So with that, once again, I hope every view is edified. Uh, that's what we do here. All right. Trying to wake up the remaining go for the elect. All right. So with that, shalom.